Hi there, it's Eleanor Sweeney here from Loon Dog Grooming, and I'm being assisted by Timmy today. Timmy is our poodle. All our dogs are rescues from Animal Care in Lancaster. Timmy was rescued by Pete and my husband about just over 4 years ago. He's had quite a lot of issues, health issues. So just before Peter got him, he had a flea allergy which ended up with a skin problem, which is an ongoing condition for him. He also had entropion eyelids, so his eyelashes were growing inwards and causing infections in his eyes. He also has problems with his ears, and he has elbow dysplasia, so his elbows kind of stick out, and that's caused some arthritis. He's now about 10 or 11, so he's our older gentleman of our 3 dogs. So I'm going to demonstrate some brushing for you. Particularly while we're on lockdown, any of the wool breeds, so dogs that are crossed with poodles or bichons, so the cockerpoos, cavapoos, cavachons, they do need to be brushed regularly to prevent matting and soreness then to the skin. The idea of brushing is that it will clear any undercoat, it clears any tangles and knots forming, and therefore it then allows the air to circulate around the hair and it clears the skin then, so the skin's got air getting to it. So particularly for a dog like Tim that's had a skin condition, this is really important. Okay. So before you start, get yourself a table, something that's table height, easy for you to work at. So whether that's a kitchen workbench, your dining room table. I'm obviously using a little portable table. Try to have something probably against a wall so that the dogs can't move around too much. And probably put something on it so that it's not as slippy. So either a towel or an old yoga mat or a camping mat, something like that. It's more sort of comfy for them to stand on as well. Get something, if you can, secure them with the lead and collar. If not, if you've got another person there, get them to hold the dog. Okay. Before you make a start, make sure that you've got all the kit that you want close by. Don't leave the dog unattended at all. So for the brushing, I'm going to use some detangling spray. I'm going to use a couple of different types of slicker brush. Slicker brush is like a pin brush. So I'll use a small one for around the feet and the sort of finer areas. And this is a proper doodle brush. So it's been developed specifically for poodle coats and wool coats. So it has a flexible head, whereas these ones are static. You'll probably see this type but bigger in the shops. This has 2 sides, so the dark side is for any sort of stubborn areas, tangles, little knots and mats. The lighter side for a clearer brush through. I'll also be using a metal comb. So this is a half and half, so you've got a half with the wide length, good boy Tim, and a half with narrow length. So we have an audience today of Betty and Mabel who are watching intently to see what we're doing. Okay. So to start with, Tim isn't always too keen on this process, so we do just need to watch. He can be a little bit snappy at times. So I'm just going to stand him up. Stand up, darling. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Stand up. Good boy. So to get them to stand, if they're insisting on lying down, just pop your hand underneath the belly and just push up gently and telling them to stand at the same time. So I'm just going to secure him to the table. Okay, good boy. Remembering to give them lots of praise. So I'm going to show you how to line brush. I'm going to start with these back legs. I'm just going to turn him around a little bit so you can see a bit easier. So you're going to start at the bottom of the leg and work your way up. And you're going to hold the fur back with your thumb so that you can see the skin, and you're going to brush down from where you're at and then gradually release a little bit more fur as you go in and go in all the way up. So I'm going to go over first with the coarser side of the brush. So I'm going to lift his foot and I'm just going to steady him so that he can lean against me if he needs to, and I'm going to brush that first bit of his foot there. Good boy, Tim. Brush all the way around. Good boy. And then just gradually let a little bit more hair out. Brush all the way around. Just let him put his foot down again. So remember, with older dogs or dogs that are a little bit fidgety, you might just need to do a little bit each day. You really should be trying to brush these wool breeds daily, and particularly paying attention to the areas where they're more likely to mat. And matting is caused by the hairs by friction, so it's the hair rubbing together. So the areas that get most matted are around the legs, around the bottom where it meets the tail, behind the ears. So it's important for you to move your hand and your body around the dog. Think about the way the dog's constructed and don't be trying to twist the leg. So you can see as we get higher up, you can probably see better where the line is. So there should be, as you're holding the fur up with your thumb, you can see the root of the hair, and you're brushing from the root right the way down the strand of hair. Good boy, Tim. Now Tim's hair was very thin at one point because of all the allergies that he'd had, and he pulled his hair out. So he's lucky really that he doesn't tend to get too many knotted areas because his hair's not very thick. Now some cocker and cavapoos can have very thick, curly, tight curly hair. Sometimes it's more wavy, silky. Now along this front edge of the leg, pull the hair back so you can see where the actual cartilage, the end of the leg is, because that's the area where the mat will form. It won't form on the outside here, it will form on the bit that's close to the root. So I'm going to pull that hair back so that I can see there. Good boy, Tim. Brushing all the way up. We keep his body fairly short, so up here I normally trim this area quite short so it's not too long there. And then I'm just going to go behind, so don't forget the inside of the leg, so you want to move that fur back. Now again, some dogs will have quite thick hair on the inside of their legs, so you do need to try and line brush there as well. It's more awkward. One way you can do it is by picking the leg up and doing the other side of the inside. So you can see we're going oh boy, Tim. Alright. So we're now going to go over with the comb. So we're going to use the wide side first and then swap it around and use the fine side. So I'm going to go down from the bottom again. Good boy. Good boy, Tim. Comb that little bit, holding it back with your finger again. Let a little bit more out. We're going to go all the way up. All right, Tim. Good boy. So if you come across any little areas that are more tangled and you can't get your comb through, don't pull it through if it won't go through easily. Go back with your brush and go over that area again. And if you need to, move the hair out of the way so you can see where the little knot is that you can't get through, and then go back over with your comb. Good boy. And then the narrow side, and you can go over it. You should be able to comb up each direction. Come on, darling. Good boy. And easily get your comb through. Okay. So again, pay special attention around this area where the fur is a little bit thicker and in front of the leg there. So we're going to go through with the wide end all the way up. So holding the hair out of the way, giving him lots of praise. Good lord, Tim. And then we're going to go over with the narrow end again. It should go through nice and easily. Okay. So that's a bit of line brushing on his tail, on his leg, on his back leg. It'd be good to start on back legs. Front legs have more nerves down the front, so a bit like our shins don't have a lot of coverage. They can be a little bit more sensitive. So if you can, start on the back leg, give them a little break, lots of praise and a treat, and then go on and do the front leg. Okay, thank you.